It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. In this game, we'll see the Indiana Pacers against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Looking at Minnesota, it hasn't been the start to the season they'd envisioned. 1-7. The pressure's on. Hey, let's talk about Ricky Rubio, the Spanish playmaker. A good example, Kenny, of a guy whose impact goes beyond the stat sheet.
Sí, defensivo es muy bien, pero a little bit underrated as an offensive player as well. I was going to go the whole thing in Spanish, but
thank you for not.
You know, with this I am very bilingual. But he, he jumps the passing legs on the defense. He's 6'4", rangy.
One of the most important monuments in the nation, the War Memorial. Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Pacers leading by 8, and is going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 6 from the field. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Taking a look at some stats for Hill. A very nice season for him last year. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play on the court for Indiana. C.J. Miles is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. Then it's George Hill, and it's Lawson. Some changes for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Mahinmi. Paul George comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Ellison for George Hill. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns. Gorgie Dang comes in for Chris Humphries. Freaks checked in for Andrew Wiggins, and Zach LaVine subbed in for Ricky Rubio. And now they decide to foul intention. And we've reached halftime.
All right, Kevin, here with Coach Frank Vogel. And, Coach, things were going your way early.
Now the second half about to start up. Freaks checked in for Minnesota. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Looking at Minnesota, they took the win in their last game against the Los Angeles Lakers.
And the definition of just a well-played basketball game. Very hard to find any weak spots in that performance.
Yep, the final score really does tell the story. I mean, everything came together nicely for him.
On the court for Minnesota, Freak in at shooting guard. Wiggins is out there with Humphries. Then there's Towns, and it's Rubio in at the point. And an intentional foul right there. And the foul called on Freak. And so he's picked up. So it's Minnesota taking the W in a close.
Ricky, a great...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Ricky Rubio. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make the big plays, and he made them. And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille.